Hey guys, welcome back to Rise of Insanity. So, looks like we're in this jail cell now. And, like I said in the last video, the last two sections were kind of like dream sections, but I didn't see any ducks in there, so I'm a little worried. Alright, I guess the only way is through this door. There's a phone, so it's probably our way out of here. Interrogation Protocol of 5/14/1977. In the case of the murder of Susan Dow and Theodore Dow, suspect Edward Blurry, the interrogation is conducted by Chief Inspector Samuel Wilson. After many attempts to make contact with the suspect, we still do not have any information. The accused is constantly smiling and indistinctly repeating a sentence that reads, "The nightmares have stopped." His gaze is absent. He does not maintain eye contact with the interlocutor? I don't think that's the right word. Interlocutor. I've never seen that word. He probably does not make anything of the position that he is in. Without the presence of a forensic psychologist, we are not able to obtain more information. It is assumed that the case will be closed with an insanity plea. These posters are a little weird. Ah, cool, we got the duck right away. I still don't know if we might have missed a few though, which sucks. Okay. So it just led right out through here. Looks like there's a bunch of rooms to go through. Okay, that's definitely not something we can do yet. Interrogation Protocol 5/17/1977. In the case of the murder of Susan Dow and Theodore Dow, witness Stephen Dow. The interrogation is conducted by Chief Inspector Samuel Wilson. The suspect is shocked. There's no rational contact with him. It is understandable in his position. He hasn't said anything new. After the murder, there were many different comments from the psychology world in the press. The witness has only mentioned that his therapy for curing a mental split disorder had been very ineffective. He hasn't commented on that. Okay. Looks like some Morse code. So left, right, left. Or, maybe I'm saying that wrong. Maybe it's right, left, right. I don't know. I'm kind of confusing myself a little bit.
Good. So maybe you would tell us about your authorial therapy. What do you think, Mr. Dow? Can you hear me? It's better now, isn't it? So, can we continue? Great. Did you know that Susan Dow was pregnant?
Oh, shoot. So she was pregnant with a second kid. Interrogation Protocol 5/16/1977. In the case of the murder of Susan Dow and Theodore Dow, suspect Edward Blurry. The interrogation is conducted by Chief Samuel Wilson and forensic psychologist Mrs. Vanessa Green. Thanks to Mrs. Vanessa, we have managed to come into contact with the suspect. It has been established that he is single. He worked as a gardener for the Dow family. He said that for the last months he had been taking part in a therapy, that it was to cure him from his split personality disorder. He admitted that he had killed his wife and child, but as he emphasized, he had done it in his dream because Dr. Dow had told him to do so. It had been part of his therapy. We have finally figured it out. It is necessary to speak with Dr. Dow. John, I know that tomorrow is Bowman's shift, so I've hidden the key for the door switches in a safe place. Don't tell him anything. Let's drive him nuts for a while. Okay, so we've got... That little box is locked up right there. And this is where we've already come from. Okay, I feel like we've explored everything. Okay. So based upon these beeps is what our code's gonna be. Okay. I'm gonna play it again and look at it as we listen to it. Okay, I'm pretty sure the first one is 3. And I'm pretty sure the third one is 7. I'm not sure what the second one is, though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first one is 3, and the third one is 7, but I don't know what that second one is. Or wait, maybe the second one is 3. I'm confused. Well, damn it. Wait. Three. Okay, I'm kind of confused. Because it's not letting me spin in the opposite direction. For some reason, it's not letting me turn it in the opposite direction. Yeah, I think it's 327. Okay, so how do I rotate it in the opposite direction? For some reason, it's not letting me do that. Okay, I had to use the keyboard to do that. But it did open, so I was right. Okay, so now we have to find that box, which was back this way, I think. Okay, so now let's go find that phone, which was back in the jail cell.
Listen, Bowman, give me some creeps, Doctor. I won't manage alone.
June issue. The examination conducted by Dr. Maslow's team should not be taken into consideration during the investigation. Dr. Maslow could influence the examination in order to help his friend, Dr. Bandura says. Dr. Dow was known for his controversial methods of treatment, and the is fact. Yeah, this isn't written right. The is fact that, in the past, he has probably led to a patient's death, he adds. Okay. Don't want to miss anything. June issue. The tragic events from my friend's past had a very bad influence on his mental health condition, says Dr. Abraham Maslow, friend of the accused, suspected of manipulating Dr. Stephen Dow, which in turn has led him to murder his family. I deny the rumors saying that Stephen pretended to have a mental incompetence. I have examined him. He was also examined by other psychologists and psychiatrists who were strange to him, Dr. Maslow adds. Making sure there's no ducks hidden in these seats. And I don't think there is.
I hereby open the trial against Edward Groom about Susan Dowell and Theodore Dowell's murder. Do the prosecutor and counsel wish to say anything before the trial is started?
I would like to enclose the report about my client's insanity to the evidence, as well as recordings made by Dr. Dowell during the therapy.
Mr. Edward, could you tell us about the relation that was between you and Mrs. Susan Dow, Dr. Stephen Dow's wife, that tried to cure you? I would like to enclose documents from Susan Dow's autopsy to the evidence. Basing on these, Your Honor, as well as the jury can get to know that the victim was pregnant with the defendant.
Interrogation Protocol 521-1977. In the case of the murder of Susan Dow and Theodore Dow, suspect Stephen Dow, the interrogation is conducted by Chief Inspector Samuel Wilson and forensic psychologist Mr. Richard Jackson. After the appearance of new evidence, which is Susan Dow's autopsy protocol, we have come to know that she was in the first month of pregnancy. Furthermore, the father of the child is suspect Edward. We've established that Stephen had a motive and the skills to manipulate Edward. During interrogation, the suspect showed lack of contact with his interlocutors. He experienced ambivalent states from hysteria attacks to complete apathy. During interrogation, the accompanying psychologist came up with a thesis about Mr. Dowell's insanity, which might have been caused by many traumatic experiences in a short period of time.
I open the trial against Stephen Dowell about malpractice against Edward Groom that caused Susan and Theodore Dowell's death. Do the prosecutor and counsel wish to say anything before the trial is started?
My client, as a doctor, always takes care about patients' welfare. In the enclosed evidence, Your Honor may read about many difficult cases that have been cured by the defendant. He was trying to cure his protege at any cost to ease the pain.
I would like to enclose to the evidence the description of one therapy conducted by the defendant, which, as we can read, also finished with a failure. The girl, with similar illness like Edward, who under the influence of the therapy made suicide.
And did the defendant realize that his wife was pregnant, not with him, but with Edward?
Okay, it's the same message. Okay, so the phone is ringing again. read that. I guess we just need to answer the phone.
Steven, can I see you in my office?
Mother and 7-year-old son murdered. Woman receives 30 stab wounds 2 days after. The child is strangled during sleep. The father of the family is the one responsible for the commission of all these terrible, horrible acts.
How are you feeling today? Everything's okay? I think it's time to show you something. Let's go to the next room. Have a seat and make yourself comfortable.
Our relationship started to pass away suddenly. Stephen treated me like a lodger, unwanted person, with whom he lived because it was a kind of interest. And I started to live on memories and projections that were so beautiful in my head, so perfect. Stephen was in them like years before, like when we moved into our new house and we planned to make a big garden, only for us. These memories made me stronger, helped me to survive, and wait for tomorrow with hope. First time, I thought that maybe I'm only dreaming, or the projections about him became ridiculously strong. He came to me like before, smiling, happy, with sparkles in his eyes. Similar situations repeated in the next weeks, and I, instead of looking for their source, was waiting till my loving Stephen came back, just for a while, to feel like before, like years ago. At the beginning of our relationship, Stephen often told me about interesting things from the psychology ward. During his studies, he met with the case of a patient with multiple personalities. I remember well this case because it seemed to be very exciting. So many different personalities in one body that differ in IQ, beliefs, talents, and even visual acuity. I hid my husband's illness to meet with Eddie, his second personality, to feel happy just for a while, to fulfill my dreams. During our romance, we often met in the garden. Today, I again talked with Eddie. He is in very bad condition. Steven's therapy started to even scare him, he says. He must make terrible things to be cured and finally take a breath. As a last resort, I will send this recording to Abraham.
Okay, so it looks like I was right. So the main character had two different personalities and Eddie was the second personality. Okay, I don't think there's anything hidden in this garden.
My beloved house is closed now. He won't let me out. I won't get out. It doesn't feel like home anymore. But I will stay here in those walls. You spread the gloom all around. I can't see you in the dark.
Alright guys, so I guess that was Rise of Insanity. I actually really liked this. I thought it was pretty cool. And it was, it had a lot of really cool, interesting ideas, and the story was pretty cool. I mean, I did see the plot twist coming from pretty far away. I saw it pretty close to the beginning. But I thought it was a pretty good game nonetheless. And, okay, yeah, I guess that is it. So, that's it for Rise of Insanity. If you watched all of this, then, like, thank you. That means a lot to me. And, I don't know, I guess next time we'll start a new horror game. Because, I mean, I plan on basically having a lot of horror videos just throughout October. And maybe a little bit in November, too. So, I guess that'll do it for now. So, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.